Social work is so important because it's about people. It's about making a positive difference to people's lives. It's about understanding risk, managing complexity, working in challenging situations, commissioning services, making sure partnerships are effective. But at the end of the day, all of that activity is about making a difference to the lives of some of our most vulnerable people. And that's why social work is critically important and different, I think, from lots of other professions.
Social work is so important because of the support that it gives to people, the support it gives to young people, children, adults, families, and the impact that it has. It offers them a lifeline, someone to talk to, and like I said, just general all-round support.
Sometimes they just need a little bit of help, and those in the social care area of work can support them with that.
I think social work is so important because there's a lot of people out there who need support from various agencies. And from my point of view as a police officer, I do the enforcement side, and I need someone who can pick up the problems and do the supporting element. So if people are vulnerable, if they're being targeted, or if they just need a friend or they're lonely or isolated, and social services have all the contacts to put them in contact with the correct people.
To just give you one example, we have a young person living in Monmouthshire who had been written off by other organisations. They didn't see the potential in that young person, and our social workers developed a really creative solution around him. They developed an effective partnership to provide that young person with a home, education, love, care and support. And the change that young person has managed to achieve over 2 years with that social work support has just been phenomenal. And that situation will remain with me throughout my whole career because it was such a sort of challenging but fantastic outcome.
I was working with a young woman who had 2 children, and she was really struggling with parenting. She had her own issues, being a victim of historical child sexual abuse, domestic abuse, etc. And a social worker was able to step in, gave her some parenting support, gave her some self-confidence classes, and she's now in a situation where her children are flourishing. She's also moving on with her life.
I identified an elderly gent who was a Welsh speaker, who had become vulnerable. He had been targeted by the criminal fraternity, so much so that they controlled all his finances. He was living with no food, no drink. Sometimes he didn't have electricity, and he ended up sleeping on the settee of his house. He saw these people as friends. He wouldn't make complaints to the police. However, with social services assistance, we were able to get him the support he needed. They were able to put him in contact with another Welsh speaker, with organisations who could help him with his loneliness. They were able to take control of his finances to support him. And once the finances were in place, the criminal fraternity had no reason to keep in contact with him, and they drifted away. Within a matter of 6 months, he had several £1,000s in savings, so therefore he was able to buy his own white goods, new clothes, he had heating, electricity. His quality of life went up massively. He was a much happier person, and it was just all round a much better deal for him, and he was able to link that all into a social worker.
I've worked quite closely with the Children with Disabilities team and the Looked After team, and some of the work that I've seen them do with care leavers, looked after children, and like I said, children with disabilities is outstanding. It gives them a lifeline, it gives them the chance to take part in activities, to network, meet other people with similar needs, and really develop them as people, their skills, their qualities, their networks. Some of the stuff has been great.
It's a chance to give some people that little bit of help which will prevent them from going into a situation where things get worse. So if you want to make a difference, then social work is the field for you.
The benefit of working in social care is that you see on a daily basis the positive impact that you're having in people's life. If what motivates you is making a difference, work in social care.
If anybody out there who was looking for a demanding role but has got massive rewards and you can see firsthand the impact that has, I would highly recommend you consider becoming a social worker.
I think if you're a people person and you want to make a positive difference in people's lives, in the lives of children, young people, adults, families, I think if you're up for a challenge in a job and a role that is challenging but also meaningful, impactful and rewarding, in a culture like Monmouthshire that is such a great place to work, I think that this is the job for you.
We had somebody who had been supported by one of our social workers 20 plus years ago who returned to Monmouthshire to thank that social worker for the impact and the difference they'd made in their lives. You can't put a price on that.
To all the social workers and all those who work in the social care arena, thank you for all the hard work that you do, the sleepless nights and all the aches and pains that you go through in making sure that people are kept safe.
From my role, all I've got to say is a massive thank you to all of those, all the social workers, all the support workers and everybody who works in the industry who make my job much more rewarding when I can see the results where they're putting these people back on track and giving them their quality of life back and their control back.
Just a huge thank you to everybody who works in social care. Thank you for what you do day in, day out, for going above and beyond on a daily basis to make a positive difference. It really means a lot.